Over the last 10 years or so, there's been remarkable changes in the whole area of oral communication and social intercourse. One of the main things that's changed is, of course, the use of text messaging. This is used on these little tiny cellular phone fellows. And young people these days are sending each other text messages with these, and so the whole area of oral communication has moved on into a completely new area, which I'm not saying is bad, it's just very, very different. You see, instead of talking to each other as one would on the old telephone, where you had the dial, you went round and round, it seems archaic now, isn't it, looking back? Instead of doing that, they're pressing their little thumbs on these little keys, sending messages at lightning speed. It's quite extraordinary to watch them doing it. They'll send a message and get one back almost instantaneously, and that's how they communicate. Now, this communication is very difficult to judge when one is a specialist in social intercourse, because everything I've studied up to now has been either, the text-based has either been handwriting or speech, or the use of the mouth, oral communication, if you like. Punctuation. I mean, it's almost a thing of the past, completely gone. When you look at text messaging on the telephone-based system, you don't use it. Simply one would not use a full stop. And when one looks at that text, one thinks, does it really matter? Do we really miss it? Or is it just completely superfluous? And in some ways, I think it could be right. The spelling is appalling. It's completely different. It's not they don't try and spell. It's all shortened down to make it easier because you're only using your thumb to communicate. It's quite an extraordinary thing. The other area that is deeply fascinating from the point of view of a social intercourse specialist such as myself is the concept of the chat room. Of course, one of the most marvelous things about the whole chat room phenomena is the fact you can't tell the gender or indeed the race of the person you're communicating with. In fact, I was recently communicating with someone who went under the nom de plume, or the nom de chat, possibly as you would refer to it, of a great big lady blackbird. I imagine this is quite a large Amazonian lady of a darker persuasion, but in fact I was completely mistaken. In fact, it turned out to be a young man who lived in Hastings in East Sussex. I think a little bit overwhelmed by the person he was speaking to, because I was called Long-Legged Jack. That's why I decided to call myself, even though my name is in fact Professor Vivian. One of the blessings of text messaging is it's so pithy and succinct, rather unlike myself, who just tend to waffle on rather. This whole thing is a breakthrough in it. The way people communicate is extraordinary, and I'm fascinated by it. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm saying it's very, very different. Of course, there are some marvellous new terms that have come out. One of my favourites is emoticon. Isn't that extraordinary? 10 years ago, you say to someone emoticon, they think you are barking mad.